Hello, I'm Ian Henschke, Chief Advocate at National Seniors, and welcome to another edition of PAM, our Policy, Advocacy and Media Update. Well, the big news is the Royal Commission. After 10,000 submissions and more than 2 years of hearings, the Commissioners have delivered their final report. National Seniors pushed for this Royal Commission, and we've been there since day one. We especially thank you for your stories that we could share with the Commissioners. One of our big focuses was on home care, or should I say, the lack of it. We told the story of one member whose wife died waiting for home care, only to get a letter a year after her death. It offered a package saying it may not be at the level you need. Well, Professor John McCallum appeared 4 times and we kept pushing for change through the media. And we've run a relentless media campaign with appearances on ABC News, ABC's The Drum, Channel 10's The Project, Sky News programs from morning to night, and commercial television newses, as well as all the newspapers and most of the radio stations across the nation. Change has finally happened. In large part, this is due to the advocacy of our organisation and others, and through the stories of the people the system has failed. So thank you. And once again, it shows why your membership is so valuable. Now, I'll just run through some of the recommendations. There are 148, but I'll just stick to the key ones. At the top of the list, the new Minister, Greg Hunt, has said the old Aged Care Act will be torn up and a new one brought in with universal rights to high quality, safe and timely support at its centre. There'll be a new governance system with an independent Inspector General. There'll be stronger specialised support for dementia sufferers and mandatory dementia training for frontline staff. Now, that's something we've been pushing for well before the Royal Commission began. Also, minimum staffing requirements, with providers required to report staff hours on a quarterly basis. There'll be more funding and an aged care levy to pay for these improvements. So this is not a renovation, it's a rebuild, built around a simpler single needs assessment process. And a network of independent care finders will help older people and their families access the services they need. Perhaps best of all is an end to the rationing of home care. No one will wait more than a month from the time they're approved. Now, this, of course, will take time and money. I'd like to end with what I told the reporter from The Australian when he asked about how we're going to pay for all this and will the community bear the cost. I said, I think Australians are less selfish than they are given credit for. They believe our older people deserve better. They know people in aged care have contributed to the growth of this nation. They built the Snowy Hydro scheme. They worked in hospitals, schools, farms and factories. I don't believe they are seen as a financial burden. We're happy to pay extra, but the government has to ensure the money goes to improving the system and not lining the pockets of the people who run aged care homes. I urge you to write to the Prime Minister and your local federal MP and say you want them to keep their promise to restore faith in the system. Meanwhile, we'll keep pushing for the money that's needed in the upcoming budget. But that's for another PAM. So thanks again for your support and for your time.